Wrap it up, fuzzball.
It's Star Wars Day, folks.
Oh, how exciting.
I'm sitting here with Austin and Luna.
This morning, right, I made my breakfast, had my cereal, had my orange juice. I go on YouTube, right, and there's that algorithm, and it recommends Star Wars Episode 9 live reveal. And I'm like, oh yeah, Star Wars is today. It's celebration.
Well, you have more
Chicago.
patience than me, because I was just going to wait till they released the trailer.
No, but
you're watching the whole pomp
thing.
and circumstance show.
I come from the E3 generation when video games are revealed and big stupid shows with dumb celebrity appearances and awkwardness. So as somebody that likes to laugh at E3, I thought, you know what? This might be so bad it's good. And what ensued was the most awkward, uncomfortable, it's almost corporate Silicon Valley-like presentation I've ever seen.
You're right. You're exactly what that is. These people are trying to tell us that they're a big family, but they're just people doing a job.
They're trying to do Apple's thing, where Steve Jobs used to be on stage and say, look at this, now look at this. But instead of finesse and confidence, it's awkwardness, nobody knows what to say, everyone looks around confused. They tried to ask the actors a bunch of these questions, and they just all looked around like, did he say? Can we say? What?
Well, it's obvious they didn't have a rehearsal.
No.
Which you should have had a 2 or 3 hour rehearsal so you know what everybody's going to say, so that there's no surprises.
They just stretched things out as long as they could, with Anthony Daniels taking a half hour to just go on and on about himself and his autobiography and making fun of the fans like he's so heartless. And then you've got Stephen Colbert, who's like oh my god, he was the worst, man. He was trying so hard to be hip with the Star Wars kids. He goes on stage and says, I just got from Dagobah in a Skyhopper on a TC-14 generator. And if you don't know what that means, then you're not a Star Wars fan.
It's painfully unfunny.
Yeah. And a Skyhopper does not run on a
You know
TC-14
what
generator.
Anthony Daniels' deal is this has got to be the end, right? This is the end of the Star Wars gravy train.
All they said the whole panel was, this is the last film. They were very clear on that. If
well,
there was anything they were clear on,
it's the last film for the immediate future. They've given a trilogy to Rian Johnson. They've given a trilogy to the Game of Thrones people. That's 6 more movies.
But I mean, they were very confident on this.
There's what, 3 TV shows now? Two or 3 TV shows?
Yeah, well, The Mandalorian's done in the can.
Mm-hmm.
And there's supposed to be
the Rogue One guy is getting a movie.
The Cassian Lando guy is getting his own show.
Uh-huh.
Spoiler alert, we know he dies at the end of Rogue One.
Exciting.
Oh, yeah.
So
Poe got a cartoon.
Here's the thing. When Return of the Jedi ended in 1983, Anthony Daniels, who was a big star at the time, I mean, he hasn't done anything very little except Star Wars, right? They had a series of American Express commercials where big stars that you don't know their faces would go, you don't know me, but you know my work. And one of them was Stephen King, because he's an author, right? And it was him in a house with all these monsters, and at the end he goes, American Express, to leave home and out. And then it would go, they would like it's being engraved on the card, Stephen King. And you're like, oh, Stephen King, cool. They approached Anthony Daniels because he was going to go, you don't know me, but you know my voice. And it was going to be a big deal for him. And Lucas said, no.
No.
He didn't get to do it.
Wow.
So I'm sure he's very happy now that Lucas is out.
And he gets to do everything
and not putting the kibosh on this. Because, I mean, he talks all day.
Oh, yeah. They ask him, Stephen Colbert, if C-3PO was real, would you want to have a protocol droid? And he goes, C-3PO is real. I don't know what you mean. And he goes, but it's not like Alexa, because and he goes in C-3PO voice, Alexa, please shut up, I hate you. Like, now you have those audio clips of C-3PO saying, Alexa, shut up. You can find it on YouTube.
Well, anybody that has an Alexa in their home is a nut. Because Amazon admitted yesterday that they're listening.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Why would you have this in your house?
I'm already scared of my phone, so the idea of just putting in a robotic voice that just spies on you, what benefit do those offer?
Here's what I would do. I would buy an Alexa, and I would just do all day horrific sounds of crimes. Just to see if the cops come. Like, what if you're watching Saw?
Yeah.
And suddenly the cops are here.
What does Alexa do other than play bands you want to hear? Just say the band name.
She's supposed to tell you if the refrigerator's...
Star Wars music flowing through our
Here's the
house.
thing.
I don't even know where it's coming from at this point.
What is that?
I think
John
most of
Cena
you
was
watching
watching the
it.
trailer.
Oh,
right
that's
now.
hilarious.
We'll ask him in a minute. I just want to say that, like,
Yeah, because we're going to watch the trailer right now.
we live in a world that the internet
In a world.
is so easily accessible now. I mean, we really are. We live in the best age to find music and content. Why would we even need Alexa? I can just go on my computer. I can type in David Bowie Station to Station in 2 seconds and be listening to an obscure album.
If you had an elderly person living at home alone and they fell and didn't have life alert, Alexa, call the police. I get that. That's great.
That's a very small market, though. And this
No,
is like
they want them in
worldwide
every home.
product.
I'm shocked that Amazon
Doesn't
isn't
give
at
away.
carnivals or county fairs just handing them out.
Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah.
like a phone. Who cares what the phone costs? It's the money's in the service.
Yep. Yeah.
Right?
No, you're right. They should just be like, you ordered a book? Here, we're sending you an Alexa, too.
All right, we're going to play the Star Wars trailer in the background here, and we're going to talk about it. See, Lily, you might want to come over here so you can be heard.
Oh, do you have any hope for Star...
Rachel, you want to come in here and not curse? Rachel's in the background cursing about how bad the trailer is. Well, that's why we're doing a show real quick here.
For the record, it's missing the wallet again. That should play at the end of every trailer.
Yeah,
That should be in every trailer. All right, you two talk. I'll be right back.
Unlimited power.
All right, I'm going to play the Star Wars trailer. Here we go. Star Wars, and we'll reveal the title at the end. You know the title already, but you have to get our reaction at the end here. Star Wars, Episode 9, coming this Christmas. Here we go. Here's the Lucasfilm logo.
Gotta clap for that.
Yeah, and heavy breathing. So we see Rey in the desert. It looks just like the scene from Force Awakens when, in the trailer, Finn popped up in the desert. And
Passed on all we know.
we've passed on all we know. Luke talking.
1,000 generations live in you now.
Just immediately bring Luke back.
So a thousand generations live in you. Like, she's the end-all, be-all of the Jedi?
Uh-huh.
But that negates the last movie where all those kids were Force-sensitive.
That movie didn't happen.
Apparently.
Forget
She
that
also
movie.
has her lightsaber back. That was destroyed.
Well, yeah, the lightsaber was thrown in half.
To a Reddit leak, it's going to open up with her in a Kyborg cave. That's gluing it together.
So she's got Luke's saber back here,
Yep.
and she's having some sort of Fast and the Furious duel with a car,
It's like a Michael Bay scene. I can't even tell.
and then she jumps over it. It's so dumb. This is the first big laugh of the trailer.
Yeah.
That looks like an A-wing flying towards a city. We have Kylo Ren fighting in a... Oh, here he is repairing his mask. Lando wearing the same clothes he was wearing in Solo. That's weird.
Makes him feel young again.
Every saga comes to an end. There's an A-wing. There's Leia with the medal
Her metal.
and hugging Rey. And there they are. We have to pause it. This is the big moment of the trailer, which when you watched it in the live stream, you couldn't tell what it was. They're at the shore of a very choppy ocean. And what are they looking at?
Death Star 2.
Death Star.
They're looking at the remains of the Death Star 2.
I expected to believe that the Death Star 2, which was already uncompleted when
Well, you
it
know what's
exploded,
in there, right?
fell into the ocean.
The implication is that Kylo Ren has already been here because he has the
Vader's helmet.
gnarled up Vader helmet.
No, the Vader helmet was on Endor.
oh,
right.
you're
It was
right,
burnt.
right. That was burnt.
No, see what this is, you guys. This is screenwriting 101. Never throw anything away.
No.
This is a sequence that was supposed to be in The Force Awakens. This is Rey going to the remnants of the Death Star 2 in the ocean. So she's going to dive down there to get the Jedi holocron or some other MacGuffin.
The MacGuffin, yeah.
And while she's doing that, she's going to find the Emperor's body or something. I don't know. But this is a scene directly pulled from the first draft of Force Awakens.
Yeah, probably.
No, it is. It's a fact.
Okay.
I know it for a fact.
Okay.
Because they were going to have her and Luke on this mission. And J.J. Abrams kept saying every time they brought Luke into the movie early to do something, the movie becomes about Luke. We don't care about Rey anymore.
They just make a movie about old Luke.
Which is why he saved Luke for the second film to do all the adventuring, which of course he doesn't do any of it, except by Force Ghost.
No, he milks the cow.
Yeah, he sure does. So here's Rey
Star Wars cow.
looking at the remnants of the Death Star. Oh my God, this is so dumb. This is...
I'm also confused about scale. Isn't the Death Star supposed to be the size of a planet? So how could it crash onto a planet?
It's just a piece. Remember, it blew up. So this is just a piece of it.
It looks like a pretty big piece. You can see the eyeball, and you can even see the line around the center of the Death Star.
Oh, yeah, no, it's a big piece. Maybe this is a super planet we're on or something. I don't know. Because Endor was a moon orbiting a bigger planet,
This
right?
is Endor proper, not the moon of Endor.
Was Death Star 2 smaller? Is that how they built it?
I have no idea. Oh, I remember in Darksaber.
Was it a budget Death Star?
In Darksaber, they didn't even build the Death Star. They only built the Death Star's gunnery. They didn't build the whole station, just the weapon part.
I hope the Galaxy gun is in the movie.
So this is calling back to... See if you guys understand what's happening here. What is this calling back to? See, we don't even care anymore.
care.
This is calling back to Rey's scavenging days on Jakku.
She would go in the crash ships and fight.
So now she's doing what she used to do for a living. She's going to go, we've got to go in there, we've got to get the plans, whatever now. Oh, you can't go in there, man. It's full of the dark side.
And she'll go inside and get a vision.
Yeah, the Emperor will be like, I'm underwater. It'll be the underwater Emperor. Oh, my God.
I hope they bring the Senate.
This is just George Lucas's table scraps is what this is. It really is.
Yeah, I know.
This is equal to like her turning around and running into Uncle Owen or Aunt Beru as a ghost, you know? Okay, let's finish the trailer. Okay, no one's ever really gone.
That means...
That's a good thing because Luke is never really gone. Yoda's never really gone. Ben's never really gone.
And it's Disney speak for, we Frankenstein Carrie Fisher into this movie.
Yeah.
So, she's here forever. Because we resurrect the dead.
But it also means the Emperor is back, because we're going to hear him in a second. Oh, come on.
Oh my God! Why would they do that?
And the title is Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. What does that even mean?
What does Skywalker mean in this tense as like a proper noun? It's not the Skywalker. It's not the Skywalkers. It's just Rise of Skywalker.
It means that Rey is going to be revealed to be a Skywalker through some lineage, right?
The whole movie says she's not.
Are they going to go... First off,
Are you going to say she's a clone?
is Mike Stoklasa going to get his check? Because he's the one of Red Letter Media who theorized that she was a Virgins of the Force. That
Like Anakin.
willed into existence, and she is Hayden Christensen reincarnated.
Oh, could you imagine if
That's
he,
what- that's
if
what
he
Mike's
shows up
theory.
in this movie?
Yeah. Keep in mind that what's Obi-Wan's name? What's the guy that played him?
Alec Guinness.
No.
Or Ewan McGregor.
He recorded lines that were...
Shows you my
Force
age.
Awakens. What does he say? Way, grab the saber. Something like that, right?
yeah.
During the cantina scene on the Yavin planet? I don't know. This movie, I don't remember.
All right, here's my prediction for a satisfying ending to this stupid fake trilogy. Luke says, no one's ever gone. Or what does he say?
No one's ever really gone.
No one's ever really gone. Hey, that's great. Then fine. At the end of the movie, we see... Okay, I'm going to do a really bizarre reference here. Do you know when Homer and Mr. Burns are trapped in the rocket house?
Yes.
And they each construct a snowman army? Right? So Rey and Kylo Ren are facing off. It's some timed thing where, like, Star Trek 3, the planet is destroying itself, right? So they have to fight now, or they're both dead, or so. I don't know, right? So Ray goes, fine. He goes, your friends have left you alone. And he takes his helmet off. Your friends have all left you alone. And she's like, I'm never alone. And then we see, boom, Luke, Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, all the actors.
All the heroes. And he spawns all the villains.
And then he spawns all the villains. And that's because that's what happens at the end of Lord of the Rings. The Ghost Army shows up and saves the day.
I cannot wait to see Ceci Tin and Kit Fisto.
They're all back. They're all back.
Such iconic characters.
You know, the Emperor shows up like, I've killed all of your friends with Order 66. And Ray's like, well, they're all back. Like, bing, and there's Kit Fisto and Ayla Secura and and you know what? It ends like this big battle, and then Ray and Kylo Ren just like sit down and go, are we even necessary here? And then Yaddle sits up and goes,
Let's bring back Christopher Lee from the dead, too. Why not?
With computers, they brought Peter Cushing back. They can bring anybody back, especially if they're a ghost.
You can make them all blue and you can't tell.
If that's the end of the movie, I will stand up and throw my popcorn in the air. Because it should just be, look, after the nonsense of The Last Jedi, just go for broke. You can't do any worse.
We know it's the final movie.
You can't do any worse.
Are we going to get to see Jar Jar?
Darth Jar Jar?
Yes, bring Jar Jar back, man. Or do that thing where Jar Jar's a Sith Lord.
Yeah, and he's like, Lisa never really gone. He just save her, you know.
My apprentice. Oh, Darth Maul? No. Jar Jar Binks.
He should be in those glamorous golden Snoke robes.
Who, Jar Jar? Yeah. He's like, Misa not wearing any underwear.
He's the new leader of the First Order.
Oh, can you imagine?
They're going to use cloning technology to retcon all the movies again. And say, oh yeah, Snoke was a clone, Rey is a clone.
Oh yeah, so Palpatine's
clones.
just gonna say, I already tried to bring myself back, and it failed. That was Project Snoke.
Right,
he was a reject.
He was a reject clone.
It's a stepping stone to get to me.
He was a disintegrating clone.
Yeah.
That's why he didn't sense Kylo Ren's betrayal. Oh. I mean, imagine if, like, it's like at some point all the clone tubes break, and it's like 30 emperors doing, come on along and listen to, and they're like doing soft shoe.
They could use this clone thing to like retcon everything. They could be like, oh, Boba Fett, he got cloned. Check out that new spin-off series. That guy's a distant clone of him.
Just end this thing, man. End this thing. Or subvert expectations like Rian Johnson wants, and have the bad guys win.
Yeah.
And all the good guys crash and burn and die, and it ends with the Emperor like taking his place on the throne. I mean,
people would love that.
Do it. Why not? Well, you're there's no rules here. You've already thrown everything out the window.
With the whole I hate to say this term, prequel subculture that has arisen. If anything, these new movies have made people love the prequels now. Oh, is Emperor going to be in his red robes? He's going to be Palpatine?
Listen. When you break your leg, it makes stepping in dog crap yesterday seem pleasant.
Do you think we're going to get prequel Emperor where he just loves to just kill people?
Oh, he's like,
yeah,
Monster Mash?
Yeah, not the Return of the Jedi one or the monkey face one from Empire, but like the laughing hyena one.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's... What's his face? The actor.
Ian McDiarmid. They brought him out at the celebration to prove, like, he's in the movie, folks.
Yeah, it's him.
And Hasbro just announced that their big figure this year is a $50 Emperor doll.
It's not that $80 Darth Vader doll?
They're doing both.
Who wants a $50 old man doll?
It comes with his throne.
Who cares?
And his lightning.
No, that's like in a toy line, like you're getting excited about the grandfather. Nobody cares.
They're going to push this Emperor man to the edge. It's all they have. It's their last card left. This is it.
The good news is they've debuted this trailer in April, and the darn thing comes out in December. So it's not like a year and a half of like, oh, here we go. Yeah. It's a quick 8 months. We go on a bargain day, we get this out of our system, and we go back to our stupid lives and let Star Wars, although by that time, The Mandalorian's already premiered. That streaming service is in November.
And don't forget the huge, big budget, $100 million video game that's coming out this October that we know nothing about.
Oh my
The
god.
panel for that's tomorrow. They're doing this whole thing again for the video game.
It's already been confirmed it will have a whole toy line.
Yep. It's
Hasbro's
going to be
making
part
a
of
whole
Force
wave.
Friday. It's another
Yep.
major release, as big as the movie.
No.
So they're going to try and dilute it. So even if this movie tanks, they still have those other two things to West.
Fool me once, shame on me. Shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I've been to every Force Friday, even the Clone War one. I'm done.
This is the Force one.
I don't want no unless they're giving out amazing giveaways. I'm not interested.
It's a poster of the Emperor. It's a pinup.
Yeah, it's a big pinup of him nude coming out of the clone. He's coming out of the clone chamber going, ready for round 2? Yeah, great. Okay, well, that is it, folks. The Rise of Skywalker.
Oh.
The Rise of Skywalker. Let the...
Is that the worst name they could have chosen?
It's bad.
Bad name.
It's as bad as Attack of the Clones. That's a pretty bad title. Phantom Menace is a bad title, too. I mean, when you think about it. Because I remember being around when they announced it. You're like, ooh, the new Star Wars movie is going to be called The Phantom Menace. But Lucas was on record saying, these are 50s sci-fi kiddie movies.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of title that it would have, is Phantom Menace, The Attack of the Clones, and now it's The Rise of Skywalker. All it can mean, if it makes any sense, is the actual raising of the dead of Luke Skywalker. Because he shouldn't have died in the last one. Or maybe he didn't die. Maybe he merged with the Force. And they're like, well, if he merged with the Force instead of dying, we can bring him back. And they're like, oh, we'll bring him back.
It's going to be like Justice League. He's going to run really fast and touch the tip of a sword. What happened in that one?
They got a mother box.
A mother box. They're going to get a holocron and use the holocron to bring him back.
But it's sci-fi. You could do anything. If you wanted to bring Luke back from whatever that was, you could.
You could.
Because, I mean, he just disappeared, right? And the robe fell.
Well.
You could have Rey show back up on that island and Luke step out and go, oh, I just went to the bathroom.
At the beginning of the presentation, Kathleen Kennedy said, this is the first cinematic universe.
Like Barbossa.
Yeah, he's just
Like,
back.
"Hey, I'm back."
He's back.
Yeah, they just brought him. That was fun.
Yeah, and that second Pirates movie was so exhausting that when Barbossa showed up, you're like, thank God, somebody of some substance is back in the movie.
No, but like...
Because Jack Sparrow is a side character.
Oh, yeah, it's Will Turner's movies. People
Yeah.
get that. No, Kathleen Kennedy said these movies have to feel like they were made in the 70s to fit with the tone of the cinematic universe.
She didn't say that.
She did.
Did she really?
She said you can't make the movies feel too new because we started this universe 40 years ago, and it has to be in tone with that.
Wow. Well, there it is. That pretty much says it all. So until we get to see the next trailer, which will give the plot.
That's called The Rise of Dexter Jetstone.
Yeah. Because this is just the teaser trailer. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. It's a mini episode. I'm Jeff.
Luna.
Austin.
And we are the Rise of the Tuckers.
Traveling through hyperspace ain't like dusting crops, boy.